Maybe someday. Maybe we'll get to take a bunch of these out to a ranch one day. We'll get a Jeep and one of these and a Bronco.
If you live around Dallas or Fort Worth and you
got
have
a ranch,
let us know. Give us an email.
Joe is doing this whole episode in song. Special episode today.
2014 Toyota FJ Cruiser.
Last year they made this, right?
Yep, that was the 2014 model year. Was the last year they ever made the FJ.
And that's what makes it special.
That's what makes it kind of special.
Yeah. I've never been inside an FJ Cruiser.
Nah, neither have I, actually. This is my first time ever being inside one, too.
I've seen some like weirdly tricked out FJs where they have huge sound systems in the back. This is not like that.
It's just a regular, normal FJ. There's very little aftermarket parts on here. I think there's some lights on the front, but other than that...
It's pretty, it seems pretty stock. This interior is so plush. It's so much more comfortable than I would have expected.
For how much this cost when it was brand new, this was about $30,000. It's like $27,000 to $30,000 brand new.
And the funny thing about it is, what could you buy this for today?
Still, for a 2014 model year with 50,000 or less miles, maybe about $30,000.
That's crazy. It's retained its value so well.
These cars, especially the 2014 model years, retain their value unbelievably well. It's insane.
We're getting up to our normal spot. We're not going to bother doing a 0 to 60.
It just does this.
Makes a whole lot of noise and does 0.
You can tow about 5,000 pounds with this, which is actually, I think, pretty decent.
Medium-sized boat.
So yeah, it's a mid-sized boat, I guess.
But considering how slow this thing is already, if you hitch a boat to this thing, you're going to be crawling.
And that leads us into the engine. You have a
4-liter V6.
4-liter V6.
Non-turbo.
Non-turbo. Just, I think it's all just normal. It's probably naturally aspirated.
260 horsepower.
260 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque.
Could use some more.
They probably could use some more. This thing is pretty sluggish.
They should have just slapped a little turbo on there, just give it a little bit more.
It's a utilitarian truck, and I can forgive it for that. It's not supposed to be something fast. I mean, this thing weighs like...
It's thick.
Oh, it's over 4,000 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, but when you add a turbo to a car, it's not just for speed. You could have... It really extends the life of the engine because it's not having to work so hard. But, I mean, Toyota does know what they're doing with... building longevity. So I'm not going to say, Toyota, you did this wrong.
I will never question Toyota's reliability.
They know what they're doing. I just wish it was a little bit less sluggish. I like the color. I like that you've got the big solid metal steps on the side to get into the car up onto the rack on top.
Yeah, it looks cooler than a Hummer, which I think the Hummer is the most, like...
It's pretty ugly.
It's a pretty hideous car. This is, like, much better looking than that.
It's less obnoxious, more understated, but you're still like, oh, that seems like a capable off-road car.
Still gets the poor gas mileage, though.
Oof.
This gets 16 mpg city and 20 highway, which is, like, I guess it's not horrible, but, like... It's not really good. Yeah, it's not really that great, to be honest, either.
Not great, not terrible.
Not great, not terrible.
I think the interior is a lot cooler.
I do too.
Like a lot cooler. Let's start with these gauges up here.
Yes, okay, I love the gauges. Go ahead.
So you've got a compass here. This is like a pod cluster. We've got a compass, you've got outside temperature, and then you've got a, what do they call that thing?
Incline.
Yeah, they've got like a ball thing that tells you what angle you're at.
It tells you the degree of what angle you're at.
It's so cool. It looks like an aviation dial. I think it's cool. It's great for rock crawling.
Yeah, I do like it, and they obviously it's very analog feeling, so it moves around as you drive, which I think is cool.
I think it's super cool.
I really like that.
That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
You've got big, chunky dials for your air conditioning and your temperature.
It's all very Toyota, and Toyota makes everything very utilitarian and very simple, I feel like, which is great for lasting a long time, because these things, if they're anything like the Land Cruiser, these things could last you like 20 years.
Yeah, and that's why you buy this thing. I mean, not because it's the prettiest car in the world,
but it will survive the apocalypse.
Yeah.
This will last you forever, like every Toyota vehicle will. I mean, at least that's the reputation you have with getting a Toyota vehicle.
Yeah, that's the thinking.
Yeah.
The stereo unit here, it looks like it's a rebranded JBL. They do have JBL on here with the Toyota branding. I will say the power and volume scrolly thingy dial, that's the scientific term, scrolly thingy.
Scrolly thingy.
It doesn't have any clicks, so you're just spinning it forever and ever, and I hate that. The other one, the radio tuning, does have positive clicks. I prefer that. I wish they had done clicks on both of them, but that's a little nitpicky.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't even think about that. The seats are comfy.
This is really nice.
However, I think the back seats are not so comfy.
Yeah.
Like, the front seats here are good, and that's one of the things I would like to discuss. This can be used as a hardcore, like, rock crawler off-roader,
yeah,
but it's comfy enough that you can actually use this as a daily.
Oh, for sure. Like, when I got in this and we started driving, I was surprised. Like, this is smooth, it's quiet, the seats are comfortable.
As long as you're okay with that bad, relatively fuel economy, you can definitely daily this, no problem. It's very comfy and, like you said, very quiet, very silky smooth. I like it.
And as climate change ravages the earth and your commute is destroyed by weather, this will get you through it.
This will get you through it. What's interesting, despite this being an SUV, and it being a rather large SUV on the outside, there isn't a lot of space in this.
It's similar to the Hummer in that regard.
It is.
Like, wow, that's a big vehicle, and you get in and it sucks.
You get in, yeah, there's just not a lot of space, which is kind of a weird design decision. You have about as much room as, like, a sports car in the back seat. It's like a Mustang back seat or the Lotus back seat that we've reviewed. It's very similar to that. It's pretty bad.
But I will say I have my seat probably halfway back, and I've still got plenty of legroom. I'm 5'8", 5'9". So for most average people, if you're not super inconsiderate or giant, the person behind you is going to be fine.
It is challenging to get in, though, and this is something kind of quirky about this. Is it's technically a 2-door SUV. I don't know, maybe technically a 4-door, a 2.5 door.
2.5 door, 2 and 2 half doors.
It'd be 2 and 2 half doors.
So you can open the front doors, the main doors. Normally, you've got a handle on the inside and the outside.
Normal.
But for these half back doors, there's no handle on the outside.
They're like weird suicide doors too.
They are. They open backwards at an angle, which is really interesting, and there's only a handle on the inside. Listen to that squeal. We're drifting and throwing all the stuff around in the back.
Going through a roundabout.
So this is secretly a sports car. That's ridiculous. We were going maybe 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, that was weird. Anyway. You got a decent amount of cargo space.
I was a little underwhelmed by the cargo space. Yeah, there's some, but it's not super great. I'd say there's even a little bit less than the Jeep Wrangler.
Maybe. Yeah, honestly.
But they do have power outlets back there, which is nice, or a single power outlet rather.
You also have like a backup camera in this, which for a 2014 model year was not yet standard.
Ahead of its time,
Yeah, it was ahead of its time. It's kind of similar to how Jeep did it, because you do have a spare tire cap in the back, and the camera kind of pokes out of that.
Yeah. I will say this thing is kind of fun. Just you feel like you're sitting up high. Yeah. It's not that tall of a vehicle, but your seating position makes it feel like you're driving a bus or something.
Yeah, if we were allowed to take this like rock crawling or off-roading, I think this would be pretty fun.
Oh, I totally agree.
I feel like it's more comfy than Jeeps are.
Oh yeah, super comfy. Like, this is, I don't know, it's weird. It does feel spacious in here, even though there's not a ton
up here.
Up here, yeah.
Definitely not in the back. Here in the front seat and the passenger seat, it definitely feels spacious.
Yeah, you've got a lot of room between yourself and the windshield. Like, I'd have to lean really far forward to reach it.
Yeah.
Got plenty of leg room. I will say the underside of the steering column and stuff is a little bit low, so it almost hits your knees. If you've got long legs, it'll probably hit your knees, unless you scoot your chair really far back. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
That is oddly low.
Off-roaders have a cult following, which is why they all generally retain their value so well.
Oh yeah.
Like these Jeep Wranglers and Broncos, and especially Land Rover Defenders.
Oh yeah.
Like the 97 to 99 year models that were sold here, keep their value. I mean, they've tripled their value.
Yeah, there are companies dedicated to taking the original Land Cruisers or not, the Land Rover Defenders, rather. Yeah, and stripping them down to the nuts and bolts, and like polishing everything and refinishing it, making sure it's all good to go, and just putting it back exactly how it was when it rolled off the showroom floor, and then they sell it for so much more.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I've seen Defenders go for over 6 figures.
Yeah.
These, again, like 5 years after they were made, are still, for 50,000 miles or less, seem to be retaining about their original value.
Like, what an investment.
Yes.
Like, if you bought this for like 5 years ago, used it as a daily, roughly. I mean, that's about right. I have a 2014, and I've got 56,000 miles on it.
Yeah, so if you had bought this instead of your Focus, could have paid like $30,000 for this, drove it all that time for 5 years, and then if you wanted to, you could have sold it now for about the same amount of money you paid for it.
That's great.
And almost not lost any money.
Well done, Toyota.
That's really amazing. Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
For $30,000, that's a similar price to a modern 2019 Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
The base Jeep Wranglers start around $25,000, move up from there to the Rubicons, which are in the 40s.
Yeah.
But again, for 30, this is like, you know, like a Sport S edition of a Wrangler. It's pretty competitively priced.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I would take this or the Wrangler, honestly. It depends.
It depends on what you're into, really. I mean, if you want a Lego car, maybe get a Jeep. Like, this thing isn't as customizable as a Jeep is.
And Jeeps maintain their values very well.
They do.
As well, like the Wranglers, at least. Wranglers maintain their value great.
But if you want something that's a little bit quieter, a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I think exactly that. If you want something that's more like comfortable, daily drivable, I think this is more comfortable even than the JL Wranglers, which I have owned and I have driven extensively, and I think that this is more comfortable than that.
But yeah, it's more comfortable, and there's no road noise, or significantly less
much
road
less
noise.
And I had the hardtop JL too with the sound insulation, and this still sounds
miles better.
Yes, miles better than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking for something more comfortable that you can daily drive more, probably go with this, that you can still take out and have fun on the weekends. If you're wanting something like more exclusively for that off-road kind of experience, probably go with the Jeep.
Yeah, you could go with a base model Jeep, take off the doors, all that
the Jeeps
stuff.
are more fun. Jeep Wranglers are more fun than this.
It's more of a toy.
That's how I would say. It's more of a toy. This is more of a, I don't know, it's more
capable daily driver.
It's more of a jack of all trades than the Jeep is.
Yeah.
So, starting us off, performance. Yes. Pretty bad.
Pretty bad in terms of like on the road performance.
Yeah, on the road performance, handling terrible, which is trash.
Yeah.
Acceleration is trash.
Yeah. It's smooth at least. It's comfortable to drive. It doesn't fight you. It doesn't pull you places. But no, I wouldn't take this thing around the turn at more than 30 miles an hour tops.
However, I guess I would factor in some off-road capability here, which is strong.
Yeah.
It is good. I am more of a fast kind of enthusiast than a off-road kind of enthusiast. And therefore, I would give the performance probably a 3.5.
Yeah.
And I would give it worse than that. I mean, if it wasn't for the off-road capabilities, this would be like a 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 3.5 because of the off-road capabilities.
It is really bad. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
Because it is bad, but again, it's not terrible. Like, I've driven things that handle worse on the road.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to knock it that hard. It's not good.
Then practicality, which I think is pretty high. I don't know. I mean, this thing also will last forever, probably.
That's true.
It's going to be a tank. But I'm going to give it, I don't know.
I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Wow, that's way harsh.
Yeah.
I think that is way harsh.
It's not, I mean, there's no storage in this thing. There's no that glove box barely fits the manual.
It's small. Yeah.
Then this
actually
thing, it's just a bucket you can dump stuff in, I guess.
Well, yeah.
The gas mileage is bad.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to give it a 7.
Yeah.
I think it's decently practical. Fun factor, on the road, almost non-existent.
Yeah.
Off-road,
probably great,
I assume.
As tested, as 2.5.
You're giving it a 2.5.
As tested, yeah.
Wow. You were being way harsh on this.
This isn't my vehicle. This isn't for me.
You're being mad harsh, bro. Anyway, I'm going to give it a 5, mostly because I assume off-road this would actually be a blast.
There's just nothing fun about that. Well, let me knock it up a little bit. Let me give it a 3 because of the ball thing.
Just because of the ball thing, you like looking at it.
That was pretty neat.
Like, wow.
Look at it go.
This is real cool.
10 degrees.
Then cool factor.
I would say this is more than Jeeps and more than some other cars of this class.
Yeah.
5.5.
5.5. I'm going to go with a 5. Quality.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid.
It's utilitarian quality. Like, this is not a luxury car.
No.
So that's a tough call.
It is a tough call. I think it's pretty good. You know, I can't give it like too high. I'd probably give it a 7. I think
That's
a 7.
higher than I would have guessed.
I think a 7, just mostly because I'm factoring in reliability.
Yeah.
Long-term reliability, I think, will be strong.
If we're counting reliability too, I'll give it a 6.5.
Okay.
Because the interior, it does let it down.
Value next, which I think is strong. I'm going to go right out of the gate and give it a 10.
Wow. That's amazing.
I think that's the first car I've ever given a 10 on for value.
Yeah.
But how can you not? This thing, like...
It hasn't lost a cent of value.
Yes. It is effectively, if you bought this 5 years ago, and you've driven 50,000 miles, which I think is a decent amount to have driven in 5 years, you would have almost not lost a penny on this vehicle.
The only money you would have lost is on the extreme amount you would pay in gas. I wouldn't say it's a 10 for me. The value is exceptional because it does hold its monetary value that well. And it is super reliable, and it would make a good car no matter how many miles are on the clock. I think I will give this an 8.5.
The average score for the 2014 FJ Cruiser is a 30 out of 60.
Perfectly
right in the
average.
middle, perfectly balanced.
As all things should be.
Perfectly average, as all things should be. But still, I mean, if you're looking for a budget, good off-roader that's good, like on the road too, I would recommend this.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I gave it some low scores, but that's just because it's not for me. This is still a very good car for that particular type of person who wants a reasonable daily driver, but can also take it mudding or off-roading on the weekends.
It's great. If you're limited by space, limited by money, this is a pretty good choice for you.
Great car. Last year it was made. Rip, little buddy. We'll miss you. Maybe we'll see an electric version in the future. But if this is your first time watching, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate having you guys here. Make sure to follow us. Stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep. Peace, guys.
CuriosityStream is the world's first streaming service for people who actually like to learn stuff. They have thousands of documentaries and nonfiction titles from some of the world's best filmmakers. If you like our show, you'll love their speed category. It's got a ton of content on cars and other things that go fast. We've recently partnered with CuriosityStream to help build Nebula, our new streaming service. Nebula is a streaming video platform built by and for independent creators. Because we all appreciate how supportive our fans are, CuriosityStream is offering a free Nebula subscription with every purchase of a year-long CuriosityStream membership. With this bundle, you get the best of both worlds. CuriosityStream is home to high production value documentaries and nonfiction work, whereas Nebula is a place for educational YouTubers to try new things and experiment with different formats, things the YouTube algorithm would punish us for. CuriosityStream loves independent creators and wants to help us grow our platform, so they're offering Grand Theft Auto fans free access to Nebula when you sign up at curiositystream.com/GTA. When you sign up for CuriosityStream, you get instant access to thousands of nonfiction titles, and you'll get to watch a bunch of new episodes from Grand Theft Auto months before they hit YouTube, plus lots of other great Nebula originals. By signing up for CuriosityStream, you'll be helping not only GTA, but the entire educational community, as we work together to build a place where we can create exciting new content that just wouldn't be possible on YouTube. Give it a try by signing up using the link below. We promise you'll love it.